last week's, the chakras, right? So anybody has any question about last week's, we can start right now. So I'm sure you have some notes, whether in your mind or in your notebook. So we can go over it if something did not make sense. But basic idea of chakras is to give something to your mind that mind does not go into. So it can do the dharana. So the purpose of chakra is you are giving something to do the concentration, so that concentration develops into meditation, and ultimately meditation culminates into samadhi. That is the idea. Okay, so any question on last week's? So that means ultimately you have to practice also. So it's not just to memorize or to take notes, but ultimately doing all this homework, then meditating. Okay, and as I said last week, if your meditation is already working beautifully, whether it's on the form of God, name of God, image of God, beauty of God, don't change it. But if your mind is still wandering here and there, then this will help you. So you can use this. This is again a tool to control your mind. Okay. And I was telling you that when we see, the journey starts with the dharana, concentration. When we are concentrating, and if we can concentrate on the object of our meditation or concentration for 12 seconds, that is 1 unit of dharana. Okay, so you have given, whether it's a chakra or whether it's a breath or whether it's a form or light, 12 seconds. Your mind does not flicker at all. That's 1 unit. In order to do that, you need effort. Mind wants to flicker, but with effort, you are just keeping the mind on that particular object. And if we can concentrate 12 units, okay, so 12 times 12 seconds, that's almost like 2.5 minutes. That becomes 1 unit of meditation. When it's a 1 unit of meditation, your effort goes away, because you love that object, the divine object, so much, you just don't want to move your attention away from it. Okay, so 12 seconds is 1 unit of concentration, 12 concentrations is 1 unit of meditation, and 12 units of meditation. So 12 times 2.5 minutes, that's almost close to half an hour. If you can do that, that's a samadhi. First, there are 3 things. Awareness of who you are. I'm talking about even the physical body. We identify with this body, we identify with the mind. So this is one thing. Another thing is the object where you are concentrating upon. And make sure it's a divine object. Okay, on TV we can concentrate very well, but divinity has to be in that object for you. And the third thing is effort. What goes away first? See, in dharana, all 3 are there. When you don't have to make any effort, you have reached meditation, dhyan. When you lose consciousness of your physical body also, that becomes a samadhi. So in dharana, there are three things. In dhyan, there are two things. And in samadhi, there's only oneness. Oneness between you and the divinity. That's called samadhi. Okay, so remember this. These are like a very technical explanation of dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. But again, practice we need to do. So these chakras which we talk about, those are the points. See, you can meditate on something outside of you, because God is outside also, God is inside also. So these chakras, these energy centers, just visualize them as divine centers. Whether you want to visualize in the form of petals and colored petals or colored light or a wheel revolving, it does not matter how you visualize, because it's the whole thing starts with a visualization. And when you visualize, you will see that there's a resonance inside you. That Pran Shakti, it starts to resonate. And the reason we need to know all this, because when it starts to happen, either we can get fearful about it or we get attached to it. We should not do either one of them. Because otherwise we'll think that no, if it didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen, the way teachers said it, or the way books are writing about it. No, don't get attached to anything and do not be afraid of anything. If it happens, enjoy it and just see how it feels. Because ultimately, if it's real, that resonance, that vibration, will make you feel so good, so peaceful, that you would like to practice it more and more. Because why does our mind goes outside? Whether through the eyes or the nose or the ears or touch, taste, because we think outer world is so beautiful. But this inner world is million times or millions of times more beautiful. So once you start tasting this, feeling this, then you would like to do more and more and more. Okay? But you got to first start with this knowledge that I want to practice it. And practice at the same time every day, at the same place every day, keeping the outside environment clean and calm, phones away, TVs away, everything away for half an hour or so. Because chakra meditation cannot be done just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You got to minimum do for half an hour. Okay? Because it takes some time to get situated. It takes some time for this mind to, I'm talking about initially. Ultimately, you will, once you start enjoying it, then you wouldn't even know how long you're doing it. But this vibrations inside, this resonance, or people in Hindi, they call it a sapandhan. It is the most beautiful feeling. Okay, so that's all I can say. Rest you'll have to experience it. So last time I was telling you there are 6 chakras in our body. Okay, so like a wheels of energy, starting from the base of our spine, Mooladhara chakra, we talked about that. Then second chakra is Swadhisthana chakra. Okay, then the Manipur chakra, then Anahat chakra. Okay, so these are the chakras we talked about last time. And I told you there is a Bij mantra associated with each, there is a form associated with each mantra, and then there's a color associated with each mantra, a number of petals associated with each mantra too. Okay, so anybody has any question on the last week's, any detail?
Hershji, I have one question.
Sure.
For the Anahad chakra, you said that once we reach that far, we start emanating higher frequency of light.
Yes.
How do you see that light?
It's, first of all, it's moving faster.
Mm-hmm.
Color is lighter. Okay. And Anahat Chakra, you will feel a lot more gratitude. That those like emotions which will develop inside your mind, in your heart. Instead of complaining, you'll be more grateful. Okay. If your consciousness has reached over here. See, under the same situation, one person can complain, the other person can be grateful.
But
Same situation.
did that mean real Jyoti, that like another divine person can see more Jyoti in you?
Another person can see it also, and then you will feel that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Another person, if a person has reached to that level,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
because our own eyes are seeing only where, how much tuning it has you have done,
Yeah.
right? So it's not with the material eyes we see. When we say that Guru can see us, God can see us,
Yeah.
okay, or saintly people can see us through. That is like a, because they are looking at it from the eyes of their wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
Gyan Chakshu, as they say. Okay, and then that light is same in all of us actually, but in majority of us, that light is covered with the veiling. And what is the veiling made up of? Our own desires, our own feelings, our own materialism, our own likes and dislikes. That is the veiling. Or in Sanskrit, we call it vasanas, right? The fewer the vasanas, the clearer the light. It's almost like if I have a lamp and the cover of the lamp is dirty, the light cannot be seen that clearly, right? So I have to clean that lamp. So the same way, our light is the same, and that light is eternal. Light is in everybody, but we have been covering it. And we came here in this beautiful human body to clean this shade which is on our light. But unfortunately, majority of the people, instead of cleaning it, we just dirty it more each time we come. And how do we dirty it? By avidya, asmita, rag, dvesh, abhinivesh. Those are the five we learned about in Yoga Darshan. Okay, so when we do some practice like this is what we are doing, is cleaning it all up. So if our consciousness has reached here, outcome of this is we can see, we don't have to see others how they are seeing us. We will feel more grateful. Gratefulness is it's like a test whether this heart chakra, some people call it, if it's open or not. See, these words, modern teachers, they use it, opening the chakra. To me, I think we don't have to open the chakra. All we have to do is just clean up that dirt over there. Okay, there's no opening and closing of these things. Okay, because sometimes we think that somebody can touch us and they can open our chakras. I've heard that also. No, we got to do our own work. Okay, so anybody else? So let me just go over it quickly if you don't have the notes, or if you want to just check the notes. Mooladhara chakra, Lam is the LAM, is the Bij mantra, 4 petals, and it's a yellow color, yellow square, and the form over there is Ganesh. That is our rishis gave that form. They said Ganesh, Prithvi. Okay, Prithvi is the earth is the root element also for that. And the second one, Swadhisthana chakra, 6 petals, and it's almost like a very light ocean blue circle, 6 petals, and water is the element, and Vam is the mantra. VAM, Vam. Okay, it goes like Vam. It's a vibration. Okay, it's not that there are alphabets written inside us. Talk about the vibrations. And then element is water. And which form? It's a Brahma, the creator. Okay. The third chakra is called Manipur Chakra. 10 petals. It's a red triangle pointing upward. And fire is the element. And Ram is the mantra. Ram. RAM. In Sanskrit, it's written like a R and a dot on top of it. Ram. Okay, that is the mantra. That's the vibration. Okay, and Vishnu is the deity there. Okay? And then we talked about the fourth one, Anahat Chakra, 12 petals, 2 great triangles superimposed. Air is the element, Yam is the mantra. Ya and a dot on top, Yam. Or YAM if you want to write it in English. Yeah. And you don't say it with your mouth, these mantras. You are supposed to say it internally. Because if you say all these mantras that many times from a mouth will get tired. You are supposed to just concentrate inside and feel that vibration. Okay. And what is the deity over there? Shiva. Shiva. So we talked about these chakras up to this point. And then I also told you, when we meditate with the help of these chakras, our physical body gets the benefit too. Because we live in this physical container, from time to time, it develops certain weaknesses. First chakra, it helps us eliminate better. Every day we eat several times a day, and elimination is very important also. If we don't excrete the waste matter, we know it's a pretty awful feeling. So first chakra makes our elimination easy. Second chakra helps us with reproduction. Okay. Reproduction also and enjoyment of that sexual energy too. God has given us this body to enjoy. Not become obsessed with it, but enjoy. Second chakra. So third chakra is for the digestion. And the fourth chakra is for the respiration and the circulation. I'm talking about mainly for these areas. I'm sure there are other, the whole body is connected, but it's like a main concentration on these. And for the fourth chakra, the Anahat chakra, practice we need to do is pranayam. That's why I often tell you that a person who does the pranayam regularly will never go into depression. Because you become more and more grateful instead of thinking that, hey, I don't have this, I don't have that, because that's what depression is. Feeling sorry for yourself. So when you do pranayam, you feel grateful. You have more and more gratitude. Instead of focusing on what I don't have, focusing on how much I have. Be grateful. From birth until now, how much we have gotten. How much can we even imagine? Just even the air we breathe in, how much air we have breathed in without paying for it. How important the water is, how much water we have taken in. How much beautiful food. How much walking we have done on this Mother Earth. And Mother Earth never complained. I mean, if we start counting the things which we have gotten, I think we can keep on writing, and it cannot end. So instead of thinking that why this happened to me, that happened to me, in the negative sense, think about the positive, please. So then you will see that your consciousness, this chakra, stays open, as they say, all the time. It's not only during meditation you are opening it, even walking, talking, sleeping, cooking, cleaning, you are being grateful. Okay, so let's start with the fifth chakra today, the Vishuddha chakra. See, Shuddha means pure. Vishuddha means purest of the pure. Pure amid all purity. There's nothing purer than that. The element over here is Akash, the space. And this is a sky blue circle surrounded by 16 petals. And right in the middle, yogis, they say there is a flame of light which is as big as thumb. Right over here. That's how beautiful this is. See, Swadhisthana chakra was blue as ocean. This is blue as sky. And what is the mantra over here? Hum. The Sanskrit letter ha and dot on the top. Hum. So hum, like that. Okay? Or HAM if you want to. So this is the chakra that has the dominion over sound. Because we know the space is associated with the sound. And particularly in our body, it's the voice. When this chakra is functioning beautifully, when there are no dirt on it, vasanas on it, what happens? The voice is full of resonance. See, some people, when they speak, we want to listen to them, right? When I listen to my Guruji's tapes, even now, some of the tapes were recorded on a very regular tape recorder. Even when he was 94, 95 years of age, but there was a resonance in them. Otherwise, they say as we get older, our voice becomes weaker. But not in his case. Okay? So the voice, the words, they carry power. Otherwise, we say that we keep on telling our children, do this, don't do this. They don't listen to us. Because our words don't carry that power. And the words become, if this chakra, we meditate on this more and more, there is a clarity and there's a effectiveness in our words. People want to listen to us then. It's not that we have a desire that people should listen, but whatever we speak, the reason we are speaking, because we want to be effective. And this is the help of when we reach to this level. Vishuddha is the gateway to say experience, manifestation of the experience of divine. That's how we transform our ideas. We pull in prana, energy from space, and we are transforming that into words. And then ultimately we want to beam it out into the manifested experience. That's what we do. That's a creativity. And this meditation on the Vishuddha chakra helps us to become more creative. Because in a yogic thought, Pran is defined as the vibratory power that underlies all the manifestations. There's no place where Pran is not. It is the universal life force. That's why it implies consciousness also. And this Pran travels through the nadis. So in other words, this fifth chakra, the Vishuddha chakra, is the conduit between the space outside our bodies and the space inside our bodies. And what do we need to practice in the yogic terminology for this? Pratyahar. Pratyahar. So in the presence of Pratyahar, with our senses turned inward, the power of our pran is dramatically magnified and concentrated. And in this stillness, we are able to hear the inner Om. Okay?
Harshji, what is Pratyahar?
Pratyahar is control over our senses. And senses are our eyes, our ears, our nose, our touch, and our taste. Those are powers given to us, but we should be in charge of these powers. But we give the power to something else, not just only somebody else, some things also. We see a gulab jamun in front of us, we give power to that gulab jamun. Or a laddu, or a TV, or a music, anything else. People also. So Pratyahar is turning all that inward and concentrating. Okay. So now comes the sixth chakra, Agya chakra. When we can meditate, take our attention towards this level, the yogis, they recommend do not meditate in a group, because the deeper meditation is not a group activity. Initially, sure, we want other people to encourage us, and maybe we want to encourage other people too. But if we can really feel that we have reached there, please lock the door, be in the room by yourself, and feel or really experience this journey inward yourself. Okay. So Agya Chakra, two petals and bright white flame. And inside, it's a flame, but it's inside a yellow triangle. And Agya really means a command. It is located in the middle of the head, at the point between the eyebrows, and it is the center of wisdom. So even though we look at it over here, but it's right behind it in the middle of the head. See, in the front of the body, those are only the indentations, those are marks. But the real chakra is behind it, inside, almost towards that spine. But this one, because spine over here, it's inside the head. That's where it goes. Okay. So it's not like in the surface. Sure, initially you want to just imagine on the surface, but when you really experience it, you will experience it inside of your head. That's what the real Agya Chakra is. So element of this chakra is light, because 5 elements are in the lower chakras. You remember it started with the earth, then water, then fire, then air, then space. So those are the 5 elements. This one is light. Okay. And those were the 5 forms. Form was Ganesh, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Atma. Atma. And this is Paramatma, Ishwar. This is the place of God in all of us. That's why when your guru or when the priest does the tilk on you, they are doing the tilk to the God. It's not just to put a color on your forehead. It's to respect the God in you, the honor and showing the reverence, the presence of God in all of us. And we should always remember that. It's a God. God, you are right here. You are with me. You are protecting me from the top. What is there to be afraid of? I want to be grateful. Okay? So contact point between the mind of God and the individual mind. Because we always say mind is over here, even though the Manome Kosh is everywhere, but we always say this is the mind. Agya Chakra is considered to be a most auspicious chakra. Why? I mean, even though all the chakras are auspicious, you are visualizing divinity there, but particularly this one, because this is the place where the 3 principal nadis meet. And what are those 3 principal nadis? Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. That's another thing you should remember. Left nadi is called Ida. Right nadi is called Pingala. And the middle nadi is called Sushumna. Remember these. This is called a Triveni. Veni. Veni means a string. Yes. Triveni. 3 strings. They join together. Okay. Or this is also called Trikuti. These are different terms used by different yogis. So these 3 nadis started their journey together at the Mooladhara Chakra. In a very base chakra, they were together over there. But then throughout the journey, they did not meet. They just crisscrossed until they reach over here, then they meet again. Okay, so that's why it's considered very, very important. So Ida and Pingala, they crisscross at each of these successive chakras, but never intersect again with the Sushumna until here at the Agya Chakra. Agya. And over here, the solar and the lunar energies merge. Pran from these 2 nadis ascends through the central channel to the enlightened state of the 7th chakra. Because they meet over here, and then what happens from there? If you further practice, it goes over here. Sahasrara chakra. And that's what the samadhi is. Before that, it's a dhyan. When consciousness reaches up here, that is samadhi.
Shri, what did you say? Pran from here? What was it?
It's like a pran from these two nadis. That means the Ida and the Pingala. See, Ida is the lunar side. Pingala is the solar side. You remember that I have taught you those pranayams also, if you want to increase the heat in your body or the coolness in your body. So now the pran from these two nadis, they ascend through the central channel. And central nadi is what? Sushushmana. Because these two nadis end there. Beyond that, only Sushushmana goes. So it goes into the Sushushmana, it's into the main nadi now, and the pran goes up here. And you really lose consciousness of this lower body. That doesn't mean that body dies, but you don't need any deep breathing. You don't need any food. You don't need any water. You have really, for the time being, transcended this. This is called a transcendental meditation in the real sense. You have transcended the lower planes of your existence and you have reached the samadhi. And over there, once your consciousness has reached there, you have really gone beyond the time and the space. You can stay in that samadhi for hours, for days, for months, for years. Sometimes we think that no, it cannot happen. If you look at faithfully the scriptures, don't they say that Lord Shiva, he stays in samadhi for years and years? Parvati, to attain Shiva, what did she do? This kind of a tapasya for thousands and thousands of years. I'm not saying that you need to do that right now. When you're ready, you will like to do it, because when you enjoy it, you would love to do it. But right now, at least bring this practice in a small doses in your life. But from here to there to here, that happens not with our effort. Because you remember I told you effort drops down when we are in meditation. Okay, so if it's happening automatically, effortlessly, enjoy it. But do not put effort into reaching up there and imagining and having a headache afterwards. Don't do that. So that's why for the beginners, meditating at the lower chakras is fine. That's not any less of an accomplishment. Let this happen automatically. Make sense? So sixth chakra vibrates at a slightly higher frequency than the fifth chakra. And it's emitting like those kind of wavelengths. The chakra is both ascending and receiving stations. They are like you get see, when we say that God is talking to us during meditation, how is it talking? We receive those vibrations from God. We receive the messages. Haven't you heard that people say in my meditation, I had that kind of a visualization of the message from God. Okay, so this chakra meditation is very, very powerful, and this is what happens. So, but the whole journey is a gradual process for majority of us. Majority of us. If somebody has already done a lot of sadhana in the previous lives, sure, they can attain samadhi right away. But majority of us, we need to do our initial work also. Seventh, it's not called a chakra. Some people call it a chakra, but it's like a sahasar. That's what it's called. Chakras are, chakra is when there's a wheel of light. Over here, it's more like a light 1,000 petals just keep on spreading out. So it's not a wheel over here. So that's why it's not called, technically it's not called chakra. But if somebody says Sahasrara chakra, that's fine too. I mean, that's okay.
Hershji, this is Sonia. Namaste to you.
Namaste, Sonia.
Agya chakra, what is the sound for that?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Om.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot that. Sorry. See, somebody's paying attention. So, Sahasrara chakra, 1,000 petaled or 1,000 spoked, or it's called a 1,000 petaled lotus, or it's also called the crown chakra. And this is the radiant crown, the jewel of the chakras. And over here, element is just no physical element. Over here was the Ishwar. Over here, it's some people call it a guru. Some people call it a consciousness itself. It's one step above the light. One step above the light. Okay. And it's a last stopping of point in the passage of prana up to this Sushumna Nadi. So as I said earlier, this is the place where we have really reached the Samadhi. So sixth point, the Agya Chakra it was like a very powerful point where all three nadis met. Now after that, only one nadi goes up there, which is a Sushumna. Okay. And there's no activity of the mind because it's a Samadhi. You have transcended the mind. There's no knower, no knowledge, nothing to be known. So in other words, knowledge, knower and known all become unified and liberated. Okay. So there's no activity of the mind and no knower, no knowledge, nothing to be known. It's like a oneness has become. There's no separation. Because these three were previously we said that we got to know. We want to know who's the knowledge, or who's the knower and what is the knowledge. Over here, no knower, no knowledge, nothing to be known. So knowledge, known and knower all become one and liberated. It's like a oneness over there. That's what the Samadhi is. Okay. So it is a luminous center composed of endless filaments extending upward from a head. And where does it go? It just goes into the infinity. It's just like a rays of light going into the whole universe. So it's like an ultimate reality. Your consciousness merges with the God consciousness. See, originally it was like a twinkle of stars in the other chakras. So there's a light coming and going, little vibration getting higher and higher. But once you reach over here, it's just like it spreads into the cosmos completely. Okay. Any question before we meditate?
Manju Malhotra has a question. Manju,
Yes, Manju.
Can unmute?
Yes, Manju. Unmute yourself, Manju.
No, thank you. That was earlier when I
Oh, okay. So you
asked
got
you
it.
to
So
define
nobody
it.
else has.
Thank you.
No, I have a question.
Raj
Yes,
Mittal?
Yes. हर्ष जी, ये जो अनहद की sound है, is that related to heart chakra or Vishuddha chakra?
Yeah, Anahat is with the heart.
Okay.
Okay. And Vishuddha is next, the Atma. Agya is the Paramatma. Okay. And this is the Guru or Brahman. That's तभी
But I
कहते हैं ना,
meant the sound of unheard.
हाँ हाँ,
The Om sound,
yeah,
is
Om
that
sound,
related to which chakra?
oh, Om sound is with the Agya Chakra.
Agya chakra.
Yeah. And
Sunita?
now the sound over here,
Mhm.
actually it's a continuous Om vibration going on,
Mhm.
but it's like a non-stop.
Yes.
It's like a continuous, because you have risen above the all the elements, above all limitations, and you feel oneness, and you feel that continuous Om, even though you are not even saying Om. You are one with that Om now. It's almost like the drop of water has become one with the ocean now. There's no separation. So it's not pouring, going, merging. It has already merged. Okay? Anybody else?
Yes.
Sunita?
Yes.
Yes, Sunita.
I have heard, I mean, like, are there any negative side effects of meditation? Because I've heard some people saying you get hallucinations. Is that
Okay. Negative side can be if you put too much effort into just, you say, no, this is better than lower chakras. I got to just concentrate and meditate only on the Agya Chakra. Sure, you're going to get a headache then.
no hallucinations?
Hallucination, no. Hallucination is, to me, I think, if you are following this process, you remember last time I told you the first chakra, you got to practice yams also.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah.
second chakra, you got to practice the niyams also. And
Mhm.
today I told you to practice the pratyahar also. If you are keep on practicing the cleansing part of our mind and the body also, then there's no hallucination.
Okay.
Because if somebody says, I got to only meditate, but not follow the other yogic principles,
Mm-hmm.
okay, otherwise, no, there's no, and these deeper meditations should be done under the guidance of a guru, as they say, or a teacher.
That was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
You cannot.
a person who practices can guide you.
Mhm.
But to me, I think, no, if you do it properly and by following these principles, yogic principles, there's no hallucination, no. I have never heard that from my students, and I've been teaching for the last almost, gosh, how many years? Since 92, officially over here through this ashram.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Hershey, I have a question.
many people have been practicing this chakra meditation through this ashram. Yes.
Tripat.
Hanji. So when you
Yes.
start this meditation, Hanji, do you have to start at the root chakra, or can you start like at a high, not the topmost, but anything below the heart? Can you start at there, or does it give continuity when you start at Mooladhara and then gradually?
I would say start, if you have never done it before, start with the Mooladhara, and you will see that quickly you will move up. Your consciousness will move up. You won't have to do a long meditations down there. But if it automatically, like it effortlessly moves up, let it happen. There's no hard and fast rules about this. You got to see where your mind is. Do not force yourself. But for a beginner, it's a good idea to start from the base.
So when you say you start at Mooladhara chakra, that means your concentration should be the physical aspects or the imaginary physical aspects that you have told us about the chakras, to concentrate on those, and then from,
yes,
right?
Then move up in the same sitting.
Right.
You can just move up a little faster to the next one, then to the next one, then to the next one. And you are giving a large area for your mind to concentrate upon.
How would you know that you have to ascend from Mooladhara to the higher and then higher?
Okay, you will, it's just like you will feel a little vibration inside and your energy is moving up. You are like a letting go of the lower part. You will see that. It's just like there's no denying about it. And sometimes, some days you will see that if there was a certain issues you are dealing with, you will feel the energy rising up. See, if you meditate every day, you will know what's happening.
Right. So if, let's say, I sit down to meditate and my concentration goes without, I mean, like, I'm not saying it does, but I have a hypothetical question. So like if I sit down to meditate and my concentration is right at my heart, so does that mean I have to train it to go first lower and then go up?
No. If
Then
it's automatically going to the heart, leave it there. Leave it there then. Okay? So listen to your, just like we say, listen to your body. Over here, we are listening to our inner voice. If that's making you feel lighter, better, more connected. See, ultimately, we are trying to connect with that higher power with the help of this meditation. If you are feeling connected, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Okay? Yes, Jyoti.
Hersh,
Nishta,
this is
Nishta.
Hanji, namaste everybody. I wanted to ask you one thing you mentioned, and I don't know if I missed it or not. Aapne bola ke not to recite like the Om or the word out loud. So can you just show how you can recite it without doing it out loud?
Without doing it loud, you are just saying it internally. Okay,
Yes,
but inside what's happening is those mantras, like if it's a hum mantra, you are saying internally, you are saying you're feeling it inside. Right now, only way I can show you is by saying it, creating that vibration. So it's the vibration. So Om also the same way, because if you say all these mantras with your mouth, your mind is still focused with the mouth. You want to just disconnect from the physical body and the vocal cords also. So just imagine that sound inside. Initially, if you want to see what we're going to do, today we don't have time, but next week we are going to meditate on these chakras. That's how we're going to start the class. And then you will know how each sound is giving you the vibration internally.
Chalo, good. Thank you.
Yeah, we will do that. We'll definitely practice next week. Yes, Jyoti.
Rita Chawla has a question.
Yes, Rita.
Rita, unmute.
Unmute myself. No, I think Tripat has the same question. That's what I wanted to ask. That you have to start from the first chakra or go up. Or?
Okay. Shilpa, Shilpa.
You don't have to. You got the answer, right? You don't have to, but if you have never done this meditation, it's a good idea too.
To start with.
Okay. Who else? I think Sonia had a question.
Sunita.
Oh, Sunita. Okay.
हाँ जी, हर्षी, जब आप concentrate करते हैं in one of the chakras and you can feel the energy moving there, and then you take your energy up, then what happens is I felt the lower part where I have moved from, you don't feel the energy there, but you're feeling wherever you're concentrating. Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you are not supposed to, because energy is there, but you are concentrating on that energy now.
So you don't feel on the ones you've left and you're concentrating on the new one. You don't feel the energy there anymore.
Yeah, no, you just move to the next point. That's it. Because that, the previous one, you have already done your work. It's almost like when you are vacuuming your carpet, you just clean an area, then you push forward your vacuum cleaner. What do you do with the previous one? Previous one is already cleaned. Okay, so it's just like a moving upward. Because what does meditation do? Meditation is a technique to clean our impressions. The vasanas. Those impressions, those vasanas, we are storing them in our whole body. Especially in these knots over here. The yogis, they say you are holding it. When they say open it, or when they say clean it, that means, hey, anything we open up, what happens? How do we clean a towel? If there's a dirt in the towel, we take it outside and we shake it. By shaking, what happens? All those little pockets in there, crisscross of the thread, it opens up. and the dirt falls out. And the same thing happens with these chakras also.
Okay.
So in that sense, I'm sure these people say open the chakras. So you open something, dirt falls out. And that chakra is clean for the time being. You move up, you move up, you move up, you move up. Ultimately, when you move over here, you're one with God. That doesn't mean that those chakras, they won't have more dirt in there, because we have been living with these impressions for countless lives.
Mhm.
So again, you do the practice next time, next day, or next evening.
All right.
Is it clear?
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Let Sonia.
Hershey, this is Sonia.
Yeah, Sonia had a
I
question.
have
Okay,
a
Sonia.
question. So when you practice all these different chakras,
Mhm.
right? For Mooladhara chakra, I know they make us do the mool band, right? Bandhas. So how do you distinguish between all these chakra apart from focusing on the regions? So for example, Mooladhara chakra will be bottom of the spine, Swadhisthana chakra below navel. So is that the only thing that
That's
we
the only
do,
thing.
like
See,
focus
that's the
on?
only thing right now. What you can do is look at the marks in the front of your body. Right behind the mark, inside your body, is the chakra. So you just take your attention over there, and then with help of the practice and this knowledge, you will feel the light over there.
Okay, but while doing the meditation, these are the only things, like just
That's the only thing you can do. Just visualize at that place. That's it.
and
And with
probably
that,
the sound.
yeah, sound also, with the help of the sound, with the help of the visualization of that color or the number of petals. If it's too confusing, just use only one thing. Just think that color of a light, if that's easier for you. Do not make it too complicated. Eventually, you will see all of it inside you.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the petals and the color doesn't make sense, just visualize only the form. We are all Hindus. We are familiar with the Ganesh also, Vishnu also, Brahma also. All of that. If that feels better to you, do that. If that doesn't feel better, just only the sound.
Okay.
See, ultimate purpose is not to get confused.
Right.
Ultimate purpose is just disconnect your mind from the worldly sphere and connect it with this divine sphere. That's all. It's very simple, actually.
Right. I mean, I was just trying to differentiate between a regular meditation versus different kind of chakras,
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that these
See,
are
different.
different than
Yeah,
the
simple
regular.
meditation. What happens, most of the people, because they still hold a lot of anxiety inside their body, or a lot of impressions of the old sanskaras. So simple meditation does not take them to that level, which this chakra meditation does. This really helps us at the physical level also, emotional level also, intellectual level also. And we have a little bigger area to play with, and it's all divine. And movement of our energy is faster and surer.
Hershey, I have a question.
Sure.
Two questions actually. First question is, when you're doing, so let's say I start at the Mooladhara chakra. So I'm sitting and I'm concentrating on the colors or the chakra or in my mind, I just keep on saying the lam, keep on just saying that, don't go anywhere else for, let's say I'm going to sit for half an hour. Is that all I do? Just
That's
say
all
lam.
Yeah. Anytime mind goes somewhere else, bring it back.
Okay, my
because
second.
Initially mind will go somewhere because you are still doing the dharana.
Right.
Okay. When mind does not go somewhere, then meditation. And then when it doesn't go anywhere, then you can move your mind into the next one. Okay. Then do it for a few minutes there, then up, then up.
Okay. So you said that through when you're doing simple meditation versus this chakra meditation, that your journey is more difficult with the regular meditation.
Yes.
What about bhakti? When you are devoted bhakti and your mind is, so you have your ish and your concentration is on that ish constantly.
Yeah. Then you got to be watchful. Are you asking something from your Isht, or are you just developing a relationship only, love relationship?
So it is, yeah, because if you, I mean, if, right, if you are, I'm hoping that when you're doing this kind of meditation on the Ish, you are not asking for anything. You're
Yeah,
just.
if you're not asking for something, you're developing a relationship. The best way, my Guruji used to say, start at the feet of your Guru. Then, or head, wherever, whichever way you want to do. Just keep looking at it. Close your eyes. Just keep on enjoying the feet of your Ishta. Then the feet. I mean, first the toes, then the feet, then the knees. Okay, then the legs. Then you can look at that the Kati Pradesh, like it's like a waistline. Then into the heart center. Then the neck. Then the face, the lips and the eyes and the ears. So you can just make your journey on the form of your Ishta also. Just connect. See, idea is to disconnect the mind from the world and connect it with God. Whether you do it in a bhakti level, or whether you do it through the chakras, or whether you do it through the koshas, it's the same thing. It's a journey of our mind from the temporary to the permanent. Okay? Does it make sense, Tripat? So bhakti, lot of people, bhakti is easier for them. Do it in a bhakti way that you love your Ishta so much.
So can you combine the two?
It will be difficult to combine the two initially. Okay, but if you can combine, go ahead. Yeah.
Because it's rather confusing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it will be more confusion if you try to combine it. I would say just stick with one and then see where it takes you. Maybe your inclination is a bhakti. Some people can just surrender very easily at the feet of God, and that's okay. The goal is to dissolve yourself with the divine. That's all. Yes, Jyoti.
Raj Mittal has a question.
Yes, Raj.
हर्ष जी, अगर जैसे एक से ज्यादा इष्ट देवता हुए तो कैसे करते हैं? जैसे दिल में काफी भगवान के साथ अटैचमेंट है.
It's almost like if somebody has 5 boyfriends, they'll have to decide on one before they get married. Right? You got to decide on one. Too many isht is a problem. Okay? That's what Lord Krishna talks about Ananya Bhakti.
I was going to say that.
Okay, if not the boyfriends, how about if a young man says, I like 5 universities. Oh, you got to choose one to go to get a diploma. Okay? So for Ananya Bhakti, one isht is utmost necessary. Utmost. Otherwise, we just are not doing the bhakti. We are just trying to get something Monday from this isht and Tuesday from this isht and Friday this isht, and we are just lost. Okay? So choose one. And who gives you the isht? Your Guru does. Guru tells you who's your isht is. Okay? Because you have faith in Guru. Guru says this, because there's no difference between different ishts. But Guru says this is the form for you. Just, you'll get everything from that. Because you are going to surrender to that. Have you heard that story about Tulsi Das ji?
No.
Tulsi Das ji's isht is Ram. You know that. Ram, nothing but Ram. The story is that he goes to Vrindavan. Tulsidas ji. He sees all the temples with the Krishna over there. He says, I'm not going to bend my head down until I see Ram. Krishna is not my ishta. It's not that he was not well versed in this, that God is everywhere. He was. Otherwise, he couldn't have written a Ramayana, which we sing all over the world these days. So he said, I will only bend my head down if my Ram comes in this form. in his form in this temple. Can you imagine? Ram came. In the Christian form, Ram came in, and then he bent his head. I don't know now, but at that time, there was no Ram temple in Vrindavan. At that time, there was a Ram temple erected in Vrindavan. That is called Ananya Bhakti. Okay? So one form. So we got to decide which one is for us.
No. You mean it erected means it just showed up suddenly?
He showed up, then later on there was a Ram temple was created over there. Yeah, Ram had to come in the form of Krishna. Ram had to come because he was not going to do pranam to Krishna. So that kind of a firmness in your love for a particular form. Yes, Jyoti.
Jasbir. Jasbir has a question.
Jasbir.
हाँ जी, hello.
हाँ जी, Jasbir.
हाँ जी, हर्ष जी, नमस्ते जी.
Namaste ji.
Sorry, I missed previous few sessions. Just a quick question. When we are doing the meditation, suppose at the basic chakra or solar or heart chakra, so basically at that point, I know every chakra is connected to the organs around, you know, heart chakra is for heart, solar is for emotions and all that. So does that strengthen those qualities or those areas or those organs also?
Yes, yes, it does. It does. See, that is the beauty of these chakra meditation. It helps us at the physical level also. Wherever there's a weakness, some kind of a ailment, it does help. Yes, definitely. You're perfectly right. Yeah. So it helps us physically, it helps us emotionally, it helps us spiritually. So that's why chakra meditation is a very powerful way to control our mind and then ultimately ascend to the higher Sahasrara chakra and samadhi. Okay, yeah, you are right.
I'm pretty much sure you must have mentioned how I can see the previous sessions. Jyoti probably.
Oh, okay. Jyoti records them, and then they are. If you go on our website, Ashram website, there is a spiritual or scriptural readings.
Okay.
And you'll find them over there. But it's nice to have you here, Jasbir.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you very much, Aishri. Thank you, Jyoti.
Anybody else?
You're welcome. I'll send you the link.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do now, if you don't have any questions, we'll do a little meditation with the help of the chanting. And if many can play Om chanting for us. And then any one of the chakra, you can just go there and meditate with that chanting and see how it feels. Okay. And then next week, we'll start out not with the discussion. I'll just take you from the bottom to the Sahasrara chakra. We won't take 1 hour of meditation, but at least about 20-25 minutes of meditation we'll do with the help of the chakras, and I will create that sound for you. Okay, does that make sense? You can say thank you. That's okay. Just kidding.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.